You got one fucking life, guys. Hey there, guys. What's going on, everyone? I'm back again with another new episode of the Hustle Factory Podcast. How's everyone doing today, guys? Are you guys having an amazing day so far? At the time of me recording this episode right now, it should be like literally tomorrow. It'll be Christmas. I'm recording it now on Christmas Eve. So are you guys pretty excited on Christmas so far? Especially on the upcoming New Year, 2023? Whatever it is, guys, just let me know in the comment section below. If you're a new listener of this podcast, the Hustle Factory Podcast basically covers different aspects of life with motivational rants on it, with basically a hint of entrepreneurial rants on it. And I also cover interview episodes with different content creators out there and some bonus contents as well. So I will go ahead and put the links for the interview episode series on the description below. That way you guys get to watch it. In my end, really, guys, what's been going on with me? If you guys watched the previous episode from a month ago, November, I was talking about how I got incredibly inactive on my podcast for the past 6 months. All I'm trying to say is a lot of things been happening with me. That's why I got so inactive. But you know what? Like I said, I'm glad I'm finally back on my feet. I'm finally glad I can get back, start podcasting again, be active here again. And once again, I do apologize about that. Other than that, it's pretty well balanced for me. Today's episode is actually a perfect way for me to wrap up for 2022. And I'm sure I'll be able to bring so much value in today's episode as well. And speaking of 2022, guys, are you guys pretty excited for 2023? And I just realized the time of me recording this, 2023 is like literally in less than a week away. So are you guys excited about it? Let me know in the comment section below, because I am so fucking excited about it, because I got so much plans about for this podcast as well. I'm really down for 2023, by the way. And usually around this portion of this episode, guys, I usually do a quick promotion for Raise Energy. It's an energy drink that I've been promoting for a while for this podcast for the past couple of months now. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to take a break on doing that, because ever since I've kind of got inactive here on this podcast, I kind of lost my mojo about it for some reason. So I'm not saying I don't use the product anymore. I still use them. It's just that I want to take a quick break about it, get my mojo back and so on. But as soon as I get everything back to normal, guys, well, like I said, I got new plans for 2023, so I'm definitely looking forward for it. In today's episode, guys, I'll be talking about something that I should have talked about already since I started this podcast, and that is you got one fucking life. So let's get this episode started, shall we? I want to go ahead and start this episode by just quickly mentioning like a quick story on what happened to me, I would say a week ago. So in December 15, I got a call from my mom all the way down from the Philippines, and she was basically telling me that my grandma didn't make it at the hospital. So she passed away due to her health problems, and it's basically what she's been having health issues for a while now, since I'm not so sure, but I know she's been having issues with it. Basically, she hasn't been very active. She hasn't been eating very well. You know, a lot of complications. They got fluids on her lungs. That way she gets to eat and so on. She gets to breathe. So like I said before, unfortunately, she passed away. You know, to be honest with you guys, I'm not even so sure how I can process all of that. My grandma is very special to me, and I was just so surprised. I just don't know what to say. Essentially, all I'm trying to say is I was just so fucking speechless at this point. What just happened to my grandma, you know? It's like, why does she have to pass away? Is it already her time? And honestly, guys, my grandma, or at least my grandparents in general, are very special to me, because back when we were growing up as kids in the Philippines, they're practically the ones who basically raised us there, and they're basically the one who taught us so many valuable, important lessons in life and so on. That's for me and both of my two sisters as well. And I would like to make this episode incredibly special and valuable to anyone out there. And you know what? I may get incredibly crazy out here today, but everything what I am about to say for the next few minutes will just be fucking mind-blowing important. So please watch and listen to this episode till the very end, because I want to rant a very important lesson in life that some of us may have already forgotten or just needs to be reminded quickly. And here's a quick disclaimer about this podcast. I should have said this from the very beginning, but all I'm trying to say is that this podcast is uncensored. What I mean to say is that this podcast will have a bunch of times of me cussing all the time. I would say 99% of the time. So all I'm trying to say is there's going to be a lot of F-bombs. So just don't be surprised or shocked when you hear me say that. That's just the way how I roll, and that's just what makes my podcast kind of unique or stands out from the rest of the podcasts out there. You know, this podcast is not meant for the faint of the heart. So if you're that type of person, then unfortunately you may not like what I am about to say for the next few minutes. But in general, everything that what I'm saying is all about motivational stuff. Now let's get on to this episode, guys. And I gotta ask you guys a quick question. Do you guys know what are the most discussed topics about life in general? Go ahead and comment down below and tell me what do you think they are. Now, check this out, guys. If you guys happen to say one life and regrets, then it looks like you'll be able to easily understand the massive value I'll be sharing on today's episode. I mean, you can literally go ahead and go to Google or YouTube right now and type in those words, one life or regret. You will literally see what it suggested. Now, in my honest opinion, the concept of everyone having one life to live is pretty mind-blowing to me. It really is. And now, the reason why I say it's pretty mind-blowing is because that many of us will start to become more anxious about life and start worrying why they haven't done this on a certain age and so on. I always see this in a positive way because it will actually make us realize that we really don't have a lot of time left on this world. All I gotta say is that we gotta start pushing out there, pushing it through, and start pursuing something that you really wanted to do in your life, no regrets. And I would say this, the best way to approach it is that instead of stressing about it so much, start asking yourself this important question to yourself in the mirror and just ask yourself this. What is it that I want in life? What do I fucking crave so much in life? What is it that I really fucking want? You do that, you'll be on the right fucking track. And you know what's the saddest about all of this is that despite of having one life to live, unfortunately, guys, there are still some people out there who are still coming up with some crazy amount of dumb shit excuses why they aren't able to pursue what they really wanted to do in their lives. I just gotta say some few things about those group of people, instead of wasting your precious energy bitching and whining and complaining about why you can't do this on your life, I can't do that, you can't do that. Instead of wasting your energy on that, why not just use the remainder of your energy to start pursuing on what you really want to do in your life? Start taking it one step at a time, Start believing in the process. See, I believe that these are the same group of people who have already lost faith to themselves. They've already lost to the whole process. I would say they just need a little bit of reminder of what they really wanted in life. So they're not really bad people. They just need to be guided up, What do you guys think? And to me, guys, life can be seen in several ways. I'm sure the majority of us have heard phrases like life is a highway and no pun intended. It's a song from Rascal Flatts, one of my favorite songs. So huge shout out to that band. Or you guys may have heard that life is like a blank canvas. Life is like a book or an ocean. So much more to say about life. I do want to ask you guys, which one of those phrases are your favorite? Which one of them that I have not mentioned are your favorite about life? Let me know in the comment section below and do tell me why you like it or you love it. And check this out, guys. The way how I see about life is that life is like a video game that you play into. It's like you progress into levels and so on. You get a certain amount of lives to have in one run in a video game. You got to do whatever it takes to stay alive in order to accomplish some missions and objectives. So it's pretty much the same thing here with life, When you have one life, well, you want to do as much as you can in your lifetime to accomplish them. That way you don't have any regrets about it. If you have gotten in this portion of this episode, guys, and you've seen an amazing value so far, please consider giving this episode a huge thumbs up and also share this to anyone that needs to hear about it. I would really appreciate if you guys can do that for me. If you're able to, you guys are fucking amazing. Now, I just want to ask you guys another quick question, guys. Can we all agree that we have regretted something in the past? If so, comment down below if you feel like it, or if you're not comfortable, don't worry about it, guys. I understand why you don't want to comment about it. I mean, believe me, guys, I have some few things I have regretted in the past as well. But you know what? That doesn't mean I have to keep dwelling upon it. And so do you. Just because you have regretted something in the past, that does not mean you have to keep whining and bitching about it and basically fuck that. Now, according to Gary Vaynerchuk, regret is the biggest poison to all of us. I say that because a couple of weeks ago, I've seen this video from Gary Vaynerchuk about regret he was talking about. So I want to quickly talk about that as well in today's episode. Now, I just have to wonder when Gary V says regret is the biggest poison, does that mean it's way more poisonous than a toxic person or what? What do you think, Gary Vaynerchuk? If you've seen this episode, Gary, please let me know in the comment section or just DM me, please. I would love to get in touch with you. And I will go ahead to put the link on that video as well in the description below as well. Highly recommend that you guys check out his video about that. And you know what? I truly believe as well on what he said about regret is a poison to all of us. It's because, the more you keep dwelling upon on it, like what I mentioned earlier, the more you really won't be able to move on with your life, and you should just start making it happen. Fuck those regrets, guys. Just fuck it. I do believe it's time for us to start having lack of regrets in life, and I just want to go ahead and do a quick quote-unquote from that video from Gary V. So, in order to do so, first of all, you gotta start accepting the fact that you fucked up in life, and it's time to start taking accountability about it. And guess what? Once you start taking accountability about it, Now it's time for you to execute and hustle it up. No bullshitting anymore. Stop wasting your time on somebody else's opinions about it. Stop wasting your time about it. Stop wasting thinking about what they think about you. They can fuck themselves about it and show it up to their own asses. I'm about to wrap up this episode by just saying this one last thing, and we're gonna wrap it up with some few final thoughts. Gary Vaynerchuk once said, "You only gotta make one person happy, and that's you. It starts from there, and believe me, you will feel so much better about yourselves, and you can start hustling about it. Get back on the fucking grind." Now, it's time for me to wrap up this episode by just mentioning some few important final thoughts about this episode and some of the things that you guys may want to keep in mind. Now, even though I know having one life to live is such a scary or stressful thought to some of us, well, don't be, guys. It's not as complex as you think it is. It really isn't. If you really think about it, guys, if you break it down, it's not as complicated as you think it is, Just don't overthink everything. Now, I know some of us out there are dealing with some different circumstances in life out there. Listen to me, guys. I totally understand it, and believe me, I've been on the same boat as you guys. You guys are not alone. Don't ever think that you are the only one who's dealing with circumstances like that. You are never alone. Each and every one of us has special circumstances going on. That should never stop you ever pursuing on what you really wanted in life. Don't let those circumstances stop you. Don't let anyone, and I mean don't let anyone, tell you otherwise that you can't do this because your parents disapprove of it, or your friends or coworkers think it's never gonna fucking work. You're just wasting your fucking time. Just get back to work, whatever. Seriously, guys, go fuck them. They can suck their own bullshit ass opinions about it. I mean, after all, Eminem once quoted on one of his songs, "Your opinion's like a broken calculator. That shit doesn't count." So huge shout out for Eminem. Amazing fucking rap. And you know what, guys? Don't let their irrelevant opinion slow you down one bit. Not even one fucking. Because guess what, guys? They are just incredibly fucking jealous of you hustling on what you wanted to do in your life, what you wanted to pursue. Lastly, I wanted this episode to be an amazing reminder for all of the upcoming years out there that it's time for us to start pursuing what we really wanted in life, because in the end, you may totally regret it if you don't pursue it as soon as possible, and that's something that we don't want at all. We don't want any regrets whatsoever. Lack of regret, zero regrets. That's the fucking point. And you know what, guys? That's pretty much the end of this episode. I just want to go ahead and thank everyone for coming in, listening, and watching this episode right now. And if you guys want to watch more of this My Motivational Rant series as well, they will be in the description below as well. And aside from YouTube, guys, you guys can listen to this podcast on different platforms somewhere as well. You guys can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Bullhorn, and so much more, guys. You will see all the links in the description again. If you guys do happen to listen to this episode on Anchor and you find this episode incredibly valuable, you can easily support this podcast by hitting me up on my Anchor page. And if you're actually feeling generous about it, guys, you guys can drop a quick donation about it. Any amount will do. It doesn't even matter what it is. And just want to go ahead and do a quick shout out for Chance Mac for providing me the music for me to use for the outro of this podcast. Go ahead and check him out on his socials. It will be in the description. He's an amazing content creator to follow and get along with. I really haven't gotten in touch with him for a while, but I do want to get back with him ASAP because, like I said, I've been very busy. And check us out on our socials. You guys can give us a follow there on my podcast as well. But my Twitter will be at JohnLimDimas. Instagram as well, Facebook. Go ahead and follow me, DM me. We can follow each other up and get to know each other, talk about entrepreneurship, whatever it is. And if you guys are happening to listening to this episode during or after Christmas, well, I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to every single one of you guys out there. Go ahead and spend time with your friends and family members on this special, amazing day. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. Keep hustling out there. John Lim Dimas signing out. Have a great day, guys.